Welcome to We Learn. This is session 9 of RDBMS on SQL. In this session, we are going to cover topics are introduction about SQL, DDL commands, DML commands, SQL agreement separator, and aggregate functions. Let's start with the basically introduction about structure query language. In short, we say the SQL. That is basically heard of every DBMS and is a language that is similar to a programming language, but different in that is designed specifically for communicating with a database. And the one more powerful language is here CSQL, that is ANSI, standard language for the definition and manipulation of relational database. That include data definition language is DDL, the statements that specify and modify database schema, and the include a data manipulation language, that is DML, the statements that manipulate database content. That is the first point that says that ANSI is the American National Standard Institute that defined this language for the database, which include two partition, and here this DDL and DML, and this DDL is linked with the structure with the table, and the DML link with the data that is inserted in the table. So similarly, queries are the different corresponding to DDL and DML. Basically, SQL differs significantly from programming language, but most programming language are the still procedure. Here the procedure language consists of command that tell the computer what to do, and instruction by instruction, step by step. SQL is not a programming language itself, it is a database language, database access language. So SQL may be embedded in traditional programming language such as you can see COBOL, and SQL statement is not really command to the computer, but rather it is a description of some of data contained in the database. So SQL is non-procedural because it does not give step-by-step command to the computer database. So SQL also describes data and instructs the database to do something with the data. Let's see about the DDL and DML statement. First, there's some fact on the SQL is that SQL data is case sensitive of the SQL command are not. That's case sensitive means that we use here some capital letters in the small letter that make some distinguish and can create error if use the at the different letters, like in the case and sensitive is to be considered here, but SQL command does not here. So first version was developed by IBM by Donald D. and the Cameron and the Raymond. That is a voice is SQL. That is developing using the Dr. E.F. Codd papers and a relational model of data for language, the large shared data banks. SQL query include references to tuple, variable, and the attribute of those variables. There we are discussing here about DDL commands. The DDL that stand for data definition language. This is a set of SQL command used to create, modify and delete database structure, not data. We are considering here structure of table. This command would not normally be used by a general user who should be accessing the database via an application. They are normally used by a database administrator and a database designer or application developer. These statements are immediate. They are not susceptible to the rollback command. So you should also note that if you have executed several DML updates, then issuing any DDL command will commit all the update, as every DDL command implicitly issue a commit command. We can make here commit, that way you can't do any deletion, that is the fixed here. So you, and the rollback is that if you deleted something from the table, so you can also recover it by the rollback. So in the database that anybody do on this deletion, so you can make data saved by the commit, and the rollback can also be done. So anybody using that DDL must have a create object by prevailing and the table space area within the create object. That's in front of you are the queries that come under the DDL. First is create table. Using the create, you can create table, index, and anything that with the related database that you are using the word create. The create table that used to create table command. And the next word we use alter, means you are changing the structure of table. The alter table that modify a table after it was created. अगर आप एक बार टेबल क्रिएट कर देते हैं उसके बाद अगर आपको कोई भी कॉलम उसका डिलीट करना है या ऐड करना है दैट देन यू विल यूज ऑल्टर. And the next is drop. Drop table that remove a table from a database. It just remove the structure from the database. Here are the query related with the DDL are the create table statement. The thing is to consider before you create your table are the type of data and the table name and the what column will make up the primary key. And the name of the columns are the very necessary to be considered here what type of data you are giving here. Sure. So they in this example in front of your slide mention a create table. That is the statement syntax. Syntax is started from the here one, this create table. For the create table you have to start a keyword with the create, then the table word. After that you need to define here the table name, and then you have to find here the in the braces open and to write here the table in the column that is to be contained on the table heading on the column heading. That is field 1 is given. You can suppose you are creating a table example the student, you can give here the student name and its data type. Data type that is not you have to write data type, you have to give here data type like you are giving name, so you have to consider here the character. And if you are giving the roll number, that then you have to write here int your number, and any data type you can take here. And the not null is mentioned here means the value in the table should not be empty, it must contain any data. And when one name column heading is given, then we use to comma. After that we can give the second heading of the table, and the all if till all the heading are given, then close the spaces and the semicolon are here. After that you execute this query, you get the create table. These are the data types that you can give here at the time of create table. Like in this example I told you that fill the name, after that you need to give data type. These are the data type that you can give here. If you are using the some numeric type, like you are using the digits, you can give here data type like integer, floating point and formatted. And these are the related size of this data type. And the next character, if you are using characters like ABCD character, so you can give here the fixed size in the like char character. And the varying length you can give varchar, that is to be according to register of the size. And the next is bit string type, you can give here fixed length and varying length using in that by bit and the bit varying. Next is the date and time, that if you are using the date of birth, you can give a data type is the date time like this. And for the large data type for the character and binary, you can use long varchar and blob for the binary. Next, this is the command for alter table statement. In the alter, you are doing some editing and the changes in the table. So for that, to add or drop column on existing table, there are need to the alter. If you are deleting some column that is and the complete table structure you want to delete, then you use the drop. And if you want to delete particular column, you can use the word alter. Alter means you are some deleting or adding column in the table. So this is the syntax after this alter table. This is the syntax of alter table. Use the keyword alter, then the word is table. After that the table name which you want to change, table name, add. If you want to add column, you have to write the keyword add. After the add the column name you want to add and with its data type, followed by the data type in the semicolon. This syntax when done and create the column of the table. Or if you want to delete the table column, so you can use the here drop word, and with the drop word with the column name as drop with the column keyword and as well as the column name. Then the semicolon, then you can delete the column from the table. Next that is the drop table statement. That has two options, is cascade and restrict. Cascade that specifies that any foreign key constraint violation that are caused by dropping the table will cause the corresponding row of the related table to be deleted. If you are using some foreign key constraint that you will explain in the later session that why we are using the foreign key and the concept of foreign key. Basically this is the constraint that we can apply here of the table. If the current foreign key constraints are the violation that cause for dropping the table that can create. So after that you can delete here. If the restrict is the block the deletion of the table, any of the foreign key constraint violation would be created. So you can delete here by using the drop keyword, the drop table and then table name. After that in the braces you can use the here restrict and the cascade according to the condition. This is the example of if you want to see the example to create table of food chart. In the creating example food chart, you will write the syntax as in the previous slide we tell you to create the table you have to write the create table word as it is. After that table name is the food chart and in the braces we take here the column name is date and the data type is the varchar, that is the varying size is taken 10 and the food varchar that is also varying size is 20 and profit float. Finally that is these three are the column considered in this table and finally close the braces and semicolon. If you query run this you will get this structure of the food chart. It just create a table structure by the heading of these three column name. If you want to alter table that we already discussed how the syntax is it. What is the syntax of it? That is alter table word and after that the table name. In the braces open you can write here the add if you want to add more column. Here the column added is sold name and int is its data type. You will be able to see here a column is added with the name is sold and in the next similar query the drop keyword is used with the column key and as well as the column name is the profit. And then the result you are able to see here the profit column is deleted here. So here if you use the drop table with the food chart it will completely delete the table structure. This was the basic example of the this related DDL statement. Next is the DML command. That is DML is stand for data manipulation language. In data manipulation language we will work on the table data. You are inserting data into the table because we have already created the in the previous DDL we have created the table structure and column added and delete, but now in the DML we will work to insert data in the table. That is in DML that manipulation language area in the SQL that allow you to change data within the database and it consists of only 3 commands. That statement group they are insert, update and delete. Insert is related to any row that you want to insert and update you want to changes in the rows and delete want to delete the content in the table, not the table structure. So let's see here again about these 3 queries related with these 3 queries. Here the insert statement. To insert a row into a table, it is necessary to have a value for each attribute and the order matters. That you can see here a food chart table there to consider date, food and sold. In the date you are able to see date is given by the insert query. Insert statement syntax is that insert into keyword is used to into and then you have to specify table name. After that you have to write values because you are inserting values in the table. And in the open braces you have to write the value you are inserting into the table is value 1, 2 and the comma is the null. and if you are writing in something, you're not, and then put the semicolon. An example is considered here. Insert into the food chart and the values are taken correspondingly date, food and the sold item. You will able to see these data are inserted into the table as you are inserting and inserting. Next is the update statement. Update statement is used to make the changes in the data that you have already inserted into the table. Through this update command, you are able to make the changes. That you can include here some condition statements like where clause and some fashion like as a select statement to indicate which row you want to values and changes in. In much the same way as insert statement, you specify the column you want to update and new value for those specified column. The combination of where clause and the column specification allow you to pinpoint and the column specification that exactly the value you want to change. Unlike to insert command, there is the update command can change multiple row. So you should take care that you are updating only the value you want to change and see the transaction discussion or the method for limiting the changing and accidental updates. This is the example that in front of you shown here. For update, you want to make the changes. You have to write first keyword update. After the update, you have to write table name and then set keyword. The set is means you are changing for what? The correspondingly column and equal to the correspondingly value. You can also apply where condition because a particular row in the particular cell you want to change. Example, update food chart. You are changing in the table food chart and what you are changing? Set column sold equal to 349. It will change your value to 349, but where? Condition will apply where date is equal to this and food is equal to pizza. Now you are able to see that this is the table before the data is to be changes. This is the data. After the changes update are applied, data will be changed here. Like the value was the change of, here was the added 349 where the date is this and food is pizza. You are able to see date and food pizza order is the first row and the corresponding sold values change with the 349. Like this you can make changes by the using update. Next we can use here delete statement. Delete is you want to delete particularly row and want to delete all the row from the table. To delete the row from the table you have to use the keyword delete. After that from keyword then the table name. After that you have to write where condition. In the table you want to delete from where. For example, delete from the food chart where food is equal to hot dog. Like this is the table in which food is taken hot dog and you want to delete this entire row. Like this you given here the where food is this, you want to delete from this table. Like this it will delete, you are able to see this row is deleted after this is the table. So note that where clause is omitted, all row of the data are deleted from the table. Some SQL statement and operation clauses that we can use here. SQL statement like select. SQL operation we can use here join, left join, right join and like. And SQL clauses we can use order by, group by and having. These are the select statement we can use over the table. You want to see particularly row and the particularly column. The basic of select statement that include three clauses are select, from and where. The select you see the specific attribute, that attribute is the column of the table you want to see. The from word that specify particularly relation, specify the table that serve the input to the statement, and where that specify the selection condition including the join condition. So note that don't need to use here the use the where. Next is the select statement example that are using to star. If you want to see the complete table row, you need to use keyword the star. Using the star is a select statement that indicates that every attribute of input table is to be selected. If you write here in this example, select star from after that you write just table name, it will show a complete table. If you write where condition, then it will show you particularly row that you want to see according to the condition in where. To get the unique row, type the keyword distinct. आपके टेबल में अगर कोई कॉलम में मल्टीपल सेम वैल्यूज है और आप उनकी यूनिक वैल्यू देखना चाहते हैं, नॉट रिपीटेड वन, एक्सक्लूडिंग रिपीटेड वन, you have to just write keyword distinct. You have to write select distinct call star from the table name. It will show the remove all repeated value and show a single value of from the everyone. And after where condition, we'll take out the particularly extracted rows. Consider this is example. This is a table in front of you where the data is inserted as the name, age and the weight. And the first query we applied here, select star from table name is person, and after that the where age is greater than 30. So this query extract all rows from the table person जिसमें से age जिनकी greater than 30 है. You able to see here the age greater than 30. The age column is this. It will remove the 28, 29. So, it will extract the table data is the age correspondingly 34, 54 and the corresponding 34. And the next query that select weight from person where age is greater than 30. It's basically given the weight, showing the weight, but condition applied on the age. Similarly, you are able to see here only the particular column of weight. And the third query that select distinct weight means a unique, not repeated, under which column the from person weight and the where age is greater than 30. That in the last column we applied the weight and here the 80 are repeated 2 times. So it show you distinct here, only taken single time 80 and the 54. This is the example we had apply on the DMS stating using the sum clause. This is the exercise in front of you that you can do it by yourself. Is what is the difference between DDL and DML, and explain the various queries that comes under the DDL. This is all about today this session. We are winding up here. Thank you so much. Happy learning. We learn.